All right, we want to bring in our chief analyst, Khalif Rose, to talk about this. Khalif, when we talk about Silfab, it seems to go from bad to worse. We've talked about this lawsuit before with you, but when you hear things like duct tape, zip ties on doors, what does that stand out to you as a lawyer?
Well, those are obviously the things that jump off the page, right?
Sure.
But those are more to the nature of the violation.
Right.
But does his case have legs? It really, are you doing a protected activity? That's the first thing I'd say. In protected activities as an employee, as a whistleblower, is, am I reporting illegal conduct? Am I reporting fraud, waste, abuse, or reporting a safety violation? And so the duct tape, the zip ties, it would seem like it would fall under that safety violation category. And so when you're in these whistleblower lawsuits, there's this burden shifting. In most cases, if it's a criminal defense case, a criminal case, the burden is going to be on the state to prove it, right? These cases, it shifts all over the place. It starts with plaintiff being able to say, hey, I have a protected activity. The employer has knowledge of my activity. They have now taken adverse action against me, and there's evidence to connect these two, right? Now the burden shifts to the other side, and they have to show, no, it wasn't because of what he was doing in terms of this activity. It was poor performance, attendance, misconduct, reducing workforce, something else. Now the burden shifts back to the employer to say, well, thank you for making those allegations, but that's just a pretext for you removing me. Unlike most cases, the burden shifts on these type of cases a lot. Right now, the burden is on plaintiff.
I like when you play both sides, Khalif. That helps us kind of see what both sides might try to argue. If the whistleblower wins, what does this mean not only for Silfab, for other workers that may be apprehensive about coming forward because of what happened here?
Well, whistleblower laws are in place to do just that, to ensure that other folks are comfortable with coming forward. Remember, if there's an overarching safety concern, you don't want folks to be nervous about coming forward because I have to worry about, will I keep my job? That's why we have these types of things in place. Specifically, you're talking about a place where there could be some type of chemical spill, have had spills in the past. Obviously, he was there before they even had employees working there outside of him. But you want to ensure that if something like this is successful, obviously you'll have a financial concern. He hasn't been employed since this, but then you'll make sure that it strengthens the whistleblower protections for other folks that are coming or could potentially come forward for something like this.
We know that Silfab is dealing with a lot, right? There's safety issues, there's not paying contractors, people in the neighborhood didn't want them there anyway. When you have a whistleblower complaint like this for safety reasons, does that impact maybe the argument of we don't want this company here, even though there are more zoning questions?
Yep.
But does it have any weight in it? Can you bring that in when you're arguing that?
It will definitely help the argument. I don't think it would be this decisive and say, okay, now because of this, you guys have to leave. But I think this is going to be more of a totality of the circumstance. You will take collectively everything that everyone is alleging, that you have these whistleblowers, you've had the multiple spill, you've had a number of folks that are saying you shouldn't have been zoned for the being there anyway. Currently, folks don't want you there. So now it's all stacking up to us saying, should you be there or not? I think it's collective as opposed to one incident.
Real quick, I know we're out of time, but do you think it's a race to get the money from them? Because we've heard all these lawsuits there, and you've mentioned whoever's first in line is going to get the biggest pot. Is there a ticking time bomb?
It is, specifically if the company would potentially go out of business. Now, if this company just shuts down and moves, it's different. It's not a race. But if there is a potential to not have a business anymore, yeah, you want to get in line as quick as you can.
All right, Khalif, thank you.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.